Hello, everyone, and welcome to this class today. Today, I wish to share with you a few things. I wish to start this series of videos to share the very basic of computer skills. Today, every one of us needs to have some basic computer skills. And really, what I wish to do in this series is to share very short videos. I intend to keep them under 30 minutes that will take us through skills that are very key in helping anyone to be able to operate and use a computer. I will not be going into much details. I want to keep the videos very short, but I hope whatever content I'll be able to share will be relevant to anyone who wishes to be able to use a computer to carry out daily tasks. So welcome very much. And today I wish to start to let us cover this. So what we're going to cover today here is one, we are going to cover customizing our desktop. We're going to see how to customize our desktop. That will be our first task today. Then number two, look at our theme colors. Then look how to set a lock screen. Then we look at the themes that we have under Microsoft Windows. This series of videos will be based on Microsoft Windows as our operating system. Then we look at the general fonts. Then we look at what we call the start menu and the start button. And finally, we look at taskbar for today. That is what our video will cover for us today. So let's get started into it straight away. So let's get started. And generally, what we are seeing here, this is what we call the desktop background. When you come to after you have set your computer, what you get here, this is what we call the desktop background. And on the desktop background, we have, these are called icons. These ones are called icons. Icons are simply pictorial representation of programs. These icons represents different programs. So these ones are icons. And basically, we have two types of icons. We have default icons and we have user-initiated icons. We have icons that you can get in any computer. An icon like recycle bin will be in any computer. Even the one that we are probably using right now has that icon. And icons like cat1, these are placed on computers by the people who use that computer, by the computer users. So these are icons, but our main task today is to customize what we are seeing here. We want to change the general appearance that we are seeing here. Whatever we are seeing on this screen, we want to really change it, change the picture you're seeing in the background. And so to do that, I wish to mention that down here, we have what we call, this is called the taskbar down here, that runs down here. And the taskbar has several stuff on it, and we'll look at it in a short while. So on this here, we have what we call the start menu. On the bottom far left, this is called the start button, not menu. This is the start button. So when you click on the start button, you get what we call the start menu. We have the start menu here, and we'll talk about it in a short while. For now, let us change our desktop background. So to change our desktop background, you come to settings here. You'll click on the settings button here. And now, remember what we've just said a few minutes ago, that what was being displayed was called the desktop background. Now, what we have here is called a window. Normally, when you see these three buttons here, this is the close button. We can close this window. Let me close it so that you see, you click close. So the window is closed. I click start again. I go to settings. Our window opens again. This next button is called the restore or maximize button. We can restore. Somebody can say maximize the window. They just mean that you click on this button to, just a moment. So when somebody says maximize your window, they just want to click on this button here. So you can maximize or you can restore. We can maximize or you can restore our window. So let me maximize the window. Then this button is used to restore the window, to minimize the window. When you minimize, it will be on the taskbar here. So you can populate it from the taskbar here. As you can see, you click on it to populate it on the screen. Now, because we want to change the desktop background, I'm going to restore my window so that when we make changes, we want to be able to see those changes that we'll be making. So I'm going to restore my window here, and then I can come and click on actually, let me maximize first of all. We have these icons here, and our interest is on personalization here. So I want to restore my window, and then I can scroll down a bit to get to personalization, which is here. So you click on that button, and then we have this list of these items. Actually, these are the items that we intend to go through today. So on the desktop background, you click here, and then this is the preview of your desktop background. So now I'll come to desktop background. There is this option here. So we have a drop-down list, a drop-down arrow that when we click on gives us a drop-down list. So now we can set a picture to be our desktop background. For example, right now I can click here and select picture as an option. Then I can pick a picture here. Maybe I can pick that picture and it becomes my desktop background, as you can see, or this picture, it becomes my desktop background. Or I can click browse to pick a picture that is in my computer. So I will click browse and pick one of the pictures in a folder in my computer. And this folder is on the desktop. I can click on the desktop icon here and pick a picture in this folder. I could pick, let me pick this. Let me pick the lion. So choose, you come to choose picture, and then that becomes our desktop background. As you can see, that is now our desktop background. So that is how you can pick a custom picture from a list of pictures that you probably have on your computer. Now, another thing that we can also set is how we want our picture to fit on our background. So again, we have a drop-down arrow here. I can choose fit, and it fits like that. I can move the other side. So you see how it fits. It doesn't run from end of the screen to the other end. It only fits within a given area. And also, or I can choose this option. I can click here and I choose stretch. Now that one will fill my entire desktop like that. As you can see, it fills the entire desktop. And or I can click here and choose tile. Now, when you choose tile, it will tile your desktop background. As you can see, it zooms into that one. If the image was a bit smaller, you will have seen tiles or of it. If I pick another image here, just let me pick another one so that you see the tile effect. I think let's see this. We choose this. And now, as you can see, that option is tiled because it's a very small picture. So we're able to see several tiles. So that is how that effect looks like. I can go back to my lion here. And then I can also choose center so that the picture appears the center of my screen. And that is how it looks like. Or the other option here is to go with span. And when you pick the span option, it will look like that. So for now, I actually like fitting. So I am going to go with the option to, not to fit, but to fill. I want it to fill my entire screen. So that is that option, and I'll settle on that option. So that is how you can change your desktop background. So I want to go beyond that on as far as desktop background is concerned. So let us look at our colors. So when you click on colors here, now when you change your colors, right now I'm using a custom, choose your color. As you can see, my current selection is custom. I can choose to go with a dark mode. For example, like if I choose dark mode, my color now, my general color changes to dark mode like that. Or I could choose light, which is, it will change in a bit, this option. So you can set your general theme color to a color that you want. So for now, I'll settle to my custom color, which changes depending on other settings. Or you can also choose your default Windows mode color. Also, you can choose dark. If I pick that, my default Windows mode will become dark, but I want it to be light. I don't want that dark to be my general Windows color. Then also you can choose your default app mode, the application that you have installed. If you want them to have a dark mode, you can pick that one there. So they'll have that mode, but I like light mode, so I'll go with the light mode for now. Then also the transparency effect. If you look at, let's say this area over here, you can see, we're able to see that lion from far. There's some transparency. If we toggle this one to be off, it becomes completely opaque. So I always like that transparency effect, so I'll have it. As you can see, I hope you're able to notice the effect when I toggle on and off like that. So I always like mine to be on. Then you can also choose what we call a color accent. Color accent, look at what will happen if up to this button here. If I pick this color, one of the things that gets affected are these colors that you see here. If I pick this, it will change again. If you go to your start, look at the start button, its color. If I pick blue again, you see even this color will now change to blue. So I'll settle with that blue. I think it's a nice color. So that is the far I want to go with changing the color. Let us look at lock screen. Now, lock screen normally is a screen that will appear if your computer lies idle for a number of minutes that you set. So you will set lock screen, especially if your computer has a password to log into your user account, so that in the event you step out and you leave your computer on the desk, somebody shouldn't come and just start using it. So you could pick a picture or whatever, be a slideshow or something else that you want to be your lock screen image or whatever you want to be displayed. So one of the options is to choose a picture. And again, when you settle for choosing a picture, now let me maximize my window for now. This is a window, let me maximize it. I can just click on a picture here. That will become my lock screen picture, or I can click on this picture, or I can click on this. Or again, like we said, you can browse. You can just click browse to pick a picture in your computer. So I could pick a picture that is in a folder that is on the desktop. So I will come to desktop. Then I have some pictures here. Then I can pick one of the pictures I have here. So let me choose the car and then choose that picture. So this will become my lock screen picture. Now we can scroll down a bit to check the other options here that I really wouldn't want to go into. I don't want to go into much detail. I want just to keep it as simple as possible. So I want to come to screen timeout settings. Now, screen timeout settings is the time now that the number of minutes that when they elapse while the computer is idle, the lock screen will be shown. So we can come here and click on this, and we have some settings here. For example, power and sleep. When do you want, if you want, when your computer is on power, if you want it to go to sleep, you can set maybe when it is idle, it can go to sleep after 2 minutes, or you can set never. For now, mine is on never. I think I can set it to maybe 30 minutes. When plugged in and idle, you maybe might want it to, when idle after maybe 10 minutes, it can show the screen, that lock screen that we had set. Also, sleep mode, we can set it to sleep. When on battery, it can sleep maybe after 5 minutes when it's idle. And when plugged in, it can sleep maybe after 10 minutes if it lies idle. So those are the settings I learned to set there. Then I can go back, this back arrow here. So we can click on this back arrow, and then it brings us back here. Now here I also want to show you how to set the screensaver. Now the screensaver protects your computer against unauthorized access. So as screensaver, when you click on screensaver here, it will bring you to setting your screensaver. Now, right now, the current option is none. So we can click on this drop-down arrow and pick an option. Maybe I want some photos or some Mystify or Bubble. So let's say I'll go for maybe a ribbon. Then you set the number of minutes here. The number of minutes that you will set here, we can increase using this up arrow or decrease using this lower arrow. So right now I've set it to 1 minute. So now I can also come here and mark this checkbox on resume display log on screen. So when I mark this one, it means if my computer stays idle for 1 minute, it will display these ribbons that we see here. And we can just look at preview. That is what will be displayed on my screen when my computer goes idle for 1 minute. But when you just move your mouse, you will get back to the tasks that you had. But then there's this option on resume display log on screen. Now, if you have your user account, maybe tomorrow we'll see how to create user account. When you have user account and your user account has a password, when the logon screen will be displayed, you will be asked to enter your password. So that is the screensaver. So once you've set whatever you want, you can just apply and click OK, and that is how you set a screensaver for your computer. So that is as far as lock screen is concerned. I want to go to themes. Now we can come to themes here, and under themes, we can set also the general theme of our desktop. Again, allow me restore down the window. So if I come here, and we have already seen background color, we'll talk about mouse a bit later on, but I want to come straight to these themes here. If I click on this Windows theme here, generally it changes our desktop background and also the appearance of our menu. So that is what those themes do when you change them. So I already can pick this, it changes. Now we'll have this theme, for example, has a slideshow of pictures, and you can see its effect. So different themes have different effects. Look at, let's say, the color on our start button now. If I pick this, look at this, the effect of the colors here. If I pick this other theme here, it will also change like that. And these colors have changed, the general colors of these icons that you see, even on our start menu. So those are the changes that will accompany the theme that you will pick. So that is it for the themes. The fonts here will set the general font for your computer. As you can see, the fonts used here, I really wouldn't want to change the fonts for now, so I won't go much into this, but you can pick a font. You can also search for more fonts online, just click here and then you search. But for now, I don't want to make changes to my fonts. Then on the start, this is the start button over here. So when you click on the start button, it gives you what we call the start menu. This is the start menu over here. So we can change a few things on the start menu, and I want us to look at them here. Number one is to show more tiles on the start. Now, for this one, you can just toggle on and off and see what happens. So it is off when you click on the start menu. We don't have many list title items shown. When you toggle off, actually there isn't much of a change because my setting kind of fill it all. Then we have show up in the start menu. Look at this is the start menu. These are the apps on the start menu. These ones, the one I'm scrolling through, are the apps on my start menu. So I want to toggle it off and see what happens. We can turn this one off. And so now when you click your start button here, you don't have the apps menu. But still you can click here and you have your app list. But I always like having it on. So I'll let that option be on so that I can always scroll down through my apps like that. Another thing is show most used apps. If you want to see the apps that you use most frequently, you can turn this one on or off depending on what you need. Show suggestions occasionally in the start. You can turn down on and off. Now look at this. Use full screen. Start full screen. I don't like it, but this is not full screen. Let us turn it on and see. Click on this, and now my start menu is full screen. So I normally don't like this full screen option, so that is why mine, I always keep it off. But you can go for it if that interests you. Then you can also say show recently opened items in jump list. Now, this is a jump list here, so we can show recently opened items there. Then the last part is the taskbar. This is the taskbar that runs down here. It shows the number of programs that are running on the computer, the ones that you have pinned. For example, we can say lock taskbar. That option is marked. So right now, if I try to drag my taskbar, dragging means you click here and you hold on the button, that is the left button, and you move your mouse. Nothing happens. If I turn this one off, then I hold it down and move it towards my right, the taskbar has moved. I can take it up over here. The taskbar now is at the top, so that I can click start from here. So that one is because our taskbar is not locked, so I can take it back. So you can lock it so that it can't move. I always like locking it also. You can also say automatically hide taskbar in the desktop mode. Now we can work on two modes. We could work on desktop mode or on tablet mode. Right now we're working on the desktop mode. And if I turn this one off, my taskbar is no longer there until you come and hover over it like that. But I want to see it always. Then we have automatically hide the taskbar in the tablet mode. You can also turn this one on so that when you go to the tablet mode, it will be hidden if you wish to do so. We can also use small taskbar buttons. I want to see what happens on the taskbar here. I want to turn this one on, this one, and you see the icons are now very small down here. They become very small. Okay, the advantage of that is it gives you more room to add more items on your taskbar if you want to pin more applications. But I'll turn it off for now. Then also we have show badges in the taskbar. You can turn that on and off if you want to do so. So again, taskbar location. We have seen you can drag it, but you can also click and choose to have it on the right here, over here, or I can click here and have it at the top. It is now at the top of my screen over here. So you can always choose where you want it. So I want it at the bottom for now. Then you can also say combine taskbar buttons. So you can also always hide labels. You can pick an option here, never. So some more items are there, or always hide those labels. So they're hidden like that. Another thing I want to show you on the taskbar here is the search tool here, where you can search for files and apps on your computer. So that is the search, the search function there. I'm at the search tool for us. So that is it for the taskbar. The last thing that I want to show you before I end this video is how to set date and time for your computer. You see our time is saying it is 23:22 hours, 6th October 2022. So how can we, once we are done setting all whatever we wanted to set here under personalization, we can just click on close button here to close that window. We also have a keyboard shortcut for doing what we've just done. You can right click on your empty space on your desktop, then you go to personalize, and then you can still access all these personalization options here and set them as you please, as we have just done. But I'll exit here. Now, another thing I want to do is to set date and time before I end this video. So you come to start here, you can click on start, and then you just type control panel. So as you type, you will see control panel will show up here, and then you just click on it. So this is window, like you've said, and on the window here, these are still called icons. Now we can have these icons displayed in different ways. So we have this view by here. We can always change. So you can click on this drop-down arrow. Sometimes you can come to this control panel and you find that they are viewed by category like this. So you can view by category, or we can click again and view by large icons, actually, which is my preference. I like this. Or you can still click here, view by, and choose small icons. So whichever option you choose of the three, you can settle on one of them. So I'll settle on large icons for now. And then I look for an icon called date and time. So date and time is here. So you click on date and time. Then this one is now called a dialog box. When you only have a close button, there is no minimize button, there is no restore button. This is called a dialog box. This one is called a dialog box. And on the dialog box here now, we want to change date and time. So these are called tabs. We have date and time tab, additional clock tab, and internet tab. So I want to go to date and time tab, and then I come here, change date and time. You click on that button, then it brings it opens another tab. Then here we can set the date. If I want to go in the past, I click on this back arrow. Into the future, I click on this forward arrow here. But you see, if I want to set the date to be 2050, January 1st, 2050, it will take me a lot of time to scroll like this. So you click in between this number here and this one, and then you can move 1 year at a time, or you click again to move 1 decade at a time, or again to move a century. So I want to move 1 decade at a time, and I want to set it to 2050, January 1st. So this is January, so 1st January 2050. Now that is the date. The time, we have the hours here, minutes and seconds. So I want to change the hours. So click here. You can increase like this or decrease using this lower arrow. The minutes, you click here, you can adjust the minutes, or you can increase or decrease. Seconds, the same. So I'll set that. So when I click OK here, whatever I've set here is what you will see down here as our date and time. So I click OK, and when you point at your time, it is set to 1st January 2050. So once we're done, you just, of course, we can also set the time, time zone. You just click on change your time zone, and you pick your time zone here. Now that I'm in Nairobi, my time zone is UTC +3 in Nairobi. Then you just click OK, and then you click OK here, and we've set our time. So that is how you set date and time for your computer. That is how you can set the desktop background. You can change your colors. You can change your lock screen. You can change your theme. You can set fonts. You can look at the features on the start, and then also look at the taskbar. So I want to end this video here today. Tomorrow, we will look at other thing, changing the mouse configuration, how to create user accounts. If you like the content that I've shared, you can like our page. You can also click on the notification bell so that when we upload the next video, you will be notified. And if you like this content, please let me know in the comment section. If you have any questions, please share your question in the section area, and I'll do my best to make sure that I respond to as many questions as I can. Thank you very much.